I've got an Avon summer catalog here from the year 1981. I know a lot of people are nostalgic for the 80s, and I thought this would be a nice treat for those of you who are stuck at home with nothing to do. You can look through this catalog with me. This is my first time, well, I think this is my first time doing a catalog from the 80s. So let's take a look and see what they had to offer back in the early 80s. Fragrance, a fascinating story. Well, of course, I'm not going to read all of this print. Let's just look at the pictures. I might read a few things. And by the way, I want to remind you guys that this is a digital file that I'm looking at. It's not an actual catalog. So if you can't read the text that well, it's probably because the quality isn't that great. Okay, so this is the year that Odyssey came out, and Avon still makes Odyssey today. I think it came out in 1981, or maybe it was 1980. I know it was either 80 or 81. Just, the bottle shape is different. It's kind of too bad they don't have the same bottle design anymore, because that's kind of interesting. It looks very 80s, like, what was considered to be futuristic and modern in the 80s. That's what the bottle looks like. And back then they had some other things to offer that were part of the Odyssey line. Looks like they had some, I can't really move this around. Looks like they had some eyeliner and some soap and perfume powder mist, luxury bath foam. And there is that's a pencil sharpener. I guess that's an eyeliner. Okay, let me minimize this and we'll move on to the next page. And you can find the commercial for Odyssey, the original commercial on my YouTube channel. If you look through my videos, you'll find it there. And I also created a playlist, Vintage Avon, so it should be on that playlist. I hope it is. If not, I probably just forgot to add it, but it's there. I mean, I have the video uploaded if you want to watch it. Okay, so this is a fragrance called Foxfire, which I'm not familiar with. I don't know when Avon discontinued this one. But I also have the video for Foxfire, the original one, uploaded as well. You can find it on my YouTube channel if you look around for it. A lot of people seem to like that video. It's just kind of, the commercial, excuse me, the video, commercial. I don't know, it's just kind of romantic commercial. Maybe that's why people like it. Nice bottle designs. So this would have been the fragrance here, this kind of round shaped bottle. Then they've got a little mini one here. There's another bottle there. I guess this is powder. That's what it looks like. Probably spray, powdered spray. This looks like cream. I can guess what those things are without having to read. Yeah, perfume talc, perfume soap, perfume skin softener, ultra cologne. It says a stroke of Foxfire, solid cologne in pencil form. I've never seen that. So that's what that was with the Odyssey that we just saw a minute ago, a couple minutes ago. That's what that was. I didn't know what that liner was for. So I've never seen that before. It looks like Avon tried a lot of different things and over the years. Okay, this is a fragrance called Candid, which came out in the late 70s. And Avon still makes Candid today. Okay, there's Candid, yes. So this is what they were offering back then. There's like different size cologne bottles. Of course, they have the perfume skin softener. They have the talcum powder. Looks like this is probably bubble bath. Perfume spray, powdered spray. And there's the, it's like a perfume stick, I guess. Let me go back. Okay, this is a fragrance that I'm not familiar with. Avon had so many fragrances. I think they had over 1,000. I'll have to look that up too. to verify to be sure. But if you go back and if you look through all of their catalogs since Avon first came out, I mean, there's no way to look at all of them, but you know what I mean. If you look at them through the years, like from the very first one when they came out in the late 1800s, when it was the California Perfume Company, and you look at all the fragrances they offered back then, and then up until now, they've had many, many. I wouldn't be surprised if they've had over 1,000 fragrances in their collection. So I've never heard of this one. This one is Tasha. You know, this, I mean, it really sounds like something from the early 80s. Here's Timeless. They were still making Timeless about 10 years later. You know, they launched Timeless in the early 70s. And in the early 80s, they were making a fragrance called Avon. I think this came out in the early 80s too. I have the commercial for these fragrances uploaded on my YouTube channel. You can find those. I like all of these designs. I think they're pretty. So they had one called Unspoken, Emprise. I think that's how you say that. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Tempo. They had one called, what is it, Sportif Country Breeze. They had so many. There's another one called Zany. This is for young girls. I've heard of this one, but I've never smelled it before. I mean, this looks like early 80s, you know. We had the Valley Girl trend. I mean, the Valley Girl trend was popular in the early 80s. I don't know if some of you are familiar with that or not. I mean, those of you who are old enough to remember it, I'm sure you do know what I'm talking about. But there was, I don't know, just a brief trend where girls talked a certain way, you know, like totally, they talk like that, totally awesome. There was even a song that came out called, I guess it was called Valley Girl by Frank Zappa, and I think his daughter sang the song. You can find the video on YouTube. So that was just a trend, but that's what this makes me think of, Valley Girls. But Avon didn't make this fragrance for too long. I don't know what it smelled like. It's obviously, you know, very youthful. It says the fun of wearing it is when you wear it for fun. Okay. Sweet Honesty, they were still making Sweet Honesty in the 80s, which was still popular. It's one of their classic fragrances, and it's very beautiful. I mean, I think it is. A lot of people love it still to this day. So they were making black suede back then, and they still make black suede today. They had a fragrance called Rugger for men, cologne. I have a commercial for that uploaded as well. There's a fragrance called Weekend. That looks familiar. I'm thinking maybe I've seen that before in the older catalogs. I don't know how old that fragrance was when this catalog came out. There's Wild Country, which Avon still makes today. There's one called Loverboy, Clint, Shazara. Okay, this is about skincare. What is this? Tracy. So this is a line of skincare products. It says for normal to oily skin. I guess they didn't make that for too long. Natura, Alkalade, Avon, and Vira. I'm not going to read all the fine print, but I guess that's about, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, something to do with being healthy, natural. Okay, here's some more skincare products. The Vanishing Cream, Specialized Skincare, Pure Essentials, Active Aid. Now, one thing missing from the catalogs in the 80s is the decanters. You know, if you look at the Avon catalogs from the 70s, they had so many decanters that were being sold back then, and I guess they discontinued them by the time the early 80s rolled around. No more decanters. So here's some more things for, you know, the face, hands, body. Avon's Makeup Boutique, Avon's Sensations makeup. So I guess this is supposed to give you like a sunny glow, I guess. Avon color cream, coordinates. The Spun Silk makeup collection. So there's the name again, Envira. I'm not sure what they were trying to say. Candid sheer makeup. So there was a candid fragrance, and they also had a candid line of makeup. Fashion makeup group. Avon Color Works. It says it's not your mother's makeup. Makeup basics. So these are brushes. Okay, I don't know what the Dew Kiss was for. This is the Avon color chart. Coordinates, ultra. So back then they sold a lot of, well, I wouldn't say a lot. They had some nail polishes. They definitely have more than what they're currently offering. And they had more traditional shades. Right now, I've looked through Avon's nail polish and I've not found one single shade that would look good on me. These are more classic colors. There's nothing wrong with wearing like funky shades like blue, but they just don't suit me. I don't think any of the current ones would be flattering on me, so that's why I've never ordered them. Plus, I don't polish my nails that often, but sometimes I do. So there's some more shades of lipstick. I guess that's eyeshadow, blush, etc. Here's some nail polish, cuticle cream. Looks like probably nail polish remover, that kind of thing that they sold back then. So they had a line of makeup for women of color. I remember reading a comment on somebody else's channel. Somebody else posted a YouTube video about Avon, and she was talking about vintage Avon, and this older lady who's old enough to remember the 1960s, she was a teenager back then, she said that Avon was one of the first cosmetic companies that, or maybe it was the first, or one of the first, that carried shades of makeup for black women. I just thought that was interesting. Hair care. Okay, I guess this is all stuff for the hair. There's Henna Rich. Got brushes and combs. Stuff for highlights. And this is stuff to pamper yourself. Skin So Soft. They no longer have this design, which is a shame because this is a classic Avon design. I don't know why they got rid of that. But, I think it's pretty. I mean, the one they have now is okay, but this is just all, this is classic Avon. Avon International Bath Collection. So that's just stuff for pampering yourself. They still make bottles like this for the bubble bath or similar to this. I don't know what you would call that design, but those used to fascinate me when I was a little girl, those bottles. All the different shapes and sizes, different bottles, the decanters, everything. Okay, Smooth as Silk, Showerscape. It's personal care items. They had room freshener back then. There's that liquid deodorant, which Avon still makes today. And they make Feelin' Fresh today. It's just it just has a different logo, a different design. They only make the roll-on. They don't have the bar soap or the aerosol spray. Dry and Delicate. 24-hour on duty. Oh, they do have some decanters. My bad, I'm wrong. Well, I would call them decanters. They have decorative gifts, excuse me. They have a porcelain bowl. It says it's a porcelain head doll. It's the only, I guess only the head was porcelain. Looks like that's a candle holder. And this is a decanter of some kind. The Country Kitchen Collection. The Butterfly Fantasy Collection. Okay, so they hadn't totally discontinued these kinds of gifts and decanters, but I mean, they're not quite the same as they were back in the 70s. So I was wrong. Not totally wrong, but somewhat. Okay, so they had this Cape Cod collection. I remember I've seen this before. This is pretty. I mean, some of these things were, functional. You could still use them. Even after the cologne was gone or whatever, the candle burned out, I guess. These are pumps for soap. Figurines, collectible figurines. I mean, Avon doesn't sell this kind of stuff anymore, which is, it's just totally different today than what it was a long time ago. Only the name and a few products are the same. Pomanders, I think that's how you say that, pomanders and sachets. Candles, which Avon does sell scented candles today, but not, not in any of these shapes, designs, of course. Gifts for women, gifts for men. Those are cool. There's a stein. This is nice. And gifts for teens and gifts for children. They don't sell anything for kids anymore on the Avon website. Not at all. I don't know how long ago it was that they stopped, but when I joined Avon a couple years ago, they only had like maybe a Baby Shark toothbrush or something like that. I can't remember what it was. Something like that, but that was about it. And it's kind of disappointing. This made visits from the Avon lady a lot of fun because, she could not only sell, beauty care products and fragrances to the mother, who, was probably her primary customer, but, the mom could also order gifts for the husband and for the kids. So the kids wouldn't be, wouldn't feel left out. Okay, jewelry. It says it has fine jewelry. I guess that probably means sterling silver. I don't know if they really had anything in gold. So this is the kind of jewelry that they sold back then. I think this is the locket. Rings, bracelets. Those look like pins that you pin on your, on your jacket, your hat, whatever. I love USA. You don't see patriotic stuff like this anymore. Look at those pins. Earrings. I mean, on the Avon website, you'd never see something like that anymore. I mean, not a pin. I'm not saying that they don't advertise, for 4th of July or whatever. Sure they do. Okay, earrings. Young Reflections. This is for probably like teenagers, and this is for children. There's a cross and a Star of David. There's something like a locket. Yeah, this would have probably been for like teenagers. Probably like early to mid-teens would wear this stuff. This is like an album, because people were still listening to albums in the early 80s. Musical notes. When I say albums, I mean records, disc, vinyl that you would put on a record player. Okay, this looks like this is for men. Yep, men's jewelry. And Sunseekers. This is for getting a suntan. And I guess sun protection. No, they weren't really into sunscreen, not yet. Oops. Back then. Okay, that is all. So we got through that catalog pretty quick. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you're not already a subscriber, please do subscribe to my channel because I do plan to upload similar content in the future.